Well, the Maple Leafs are still alive. Yep. It was tough. It was close. There wasn't a lot of scoring, but Toronto managed to do more of it. Um, it was scoreless after one, and then William Nylander. Oh, was it scoreless? It was scoreless after one, but yeah, Nylander finally broke through, and so did Mitch Marner, and that ended up being enough. Um, but yeah, the Leafs held on. So yeah, what scores after one? Yeah, scores after one. Nylander's goal was early in the second, and then Marner scored the third. But then the Panthers made it a little bit tough when Reinhardt put it in, and but they held on. So the brooms have been broken. Still no sweeps in the 2023 playoffs. There were three last year, but yeah. So Toronto keeps hope alive. Meanwhile, Edmonton managed to even things up. They scored. They managed to take down the Golden Knights in Game Four, so that's 2-2. But the main thing here, Toronto won. Toronto won a second round game, a conference semifinal, of course, division final now, whichever you want to call it. The Maple Leafs won a second round game for the first time since April 30th, 2004. That was when they won Game Four of their series against the Philadelphia Flyers. That win evened the series, but Philadelphia won games 5 and 6 to eliminate Toronto and go on to be ousted in the conference final by the eventual Cup champions Tampa Bay Lightning. But yeah, the Leafs hope is still alive. This is one. This is one. They got they're 25% of the way through a reverse sweep. They get to go back home and try to stave off elimination again. And as like I said, as for Edmonton, they even things up. So now both West series are pretty interesting now. And of course, we got some award news. The Ted Lindsay, the Ted Lindsay Award, the finalists have been announced today. Austin Matthews won that award along with the Hart Trophy last year. And of course, the awards given annually to the most outstanding player in the league, and the finalists are Eric Carlson, Connor McDavid, and David Pastrnak. Of course, Pastrnak. Actually, no, I was about to say something incorrect, but yeah, Pastrnak put up a lot of goals. Of course, Pastrnak and McDavid were the two 60 goal winners from this year. Of course, Connor ended up finishing with the league in goals, so he got the Richard Trophy along with the Ross. Of course, the Ross is most points. Um, and of course, Carlson had his resurgent season, 100 point season, become the sixth defenseman to crack the century mark, and of course that season has him up for the Norris, so he could walk away with two trophies. So could McDavid because I expect McDavid to be one of the finalists for the Hart. Actually, not only one of the finalists, I expect to win it. Of course, I'm still waiting for that. But so yeah, again, Eric Carlson, Connor McDavid, and David Pastrnak are the finalists for the Ted Lindsay Award, which was won by Austin Matthews last year. Of course, Austin Matthews put up 60 goals last year. But yeah, so it was a pretty good night. Pretty good night in the NHL tonight, especially if you're a Canadian franchise. Both Canadian teams won, and so Toronto's still alive, and Edmonton made things pretty interesting. So that's my recap of tonight's action. What's happening tomorrow? Well, I'll tell you. Tomorrow, the game fours are done, and now it's off to the game fives. The scene shifts back to the original destination, and it's game five in the Metropolitan. Devils Hurricanes back in Raleigh. It's an elimination game. The um, Hurricanes can finish it off tonight and advance to the conference final for the first time since 2019. And of course, the Devils are looking to do what the Maple Leafs did tonight, stave off elimination. And then after that, it's game five in the Central between the Kraken and the Stars back in Dallas. That series is dead even at 2. It's a best of 3 now. And of course, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Friday, it's the other 2 game 5s in the Atlantic. Game 5 between the Panthers and the Maple Leafs. The series goes back to Toronto thanks to the Leafs winning tonight. But Florida still has another chance to clinch their first appearance in the Eastern Conference Final since 1996, that magical run. While Toronto is looking to continue and possibly improbable comeback and force this series to go back to Sunrise for a Game 6. And a series that we know is going to have a Game 6 is the one in the Pacific against Game 5 of that series between the Oilers and the Golden Knights heading back to Sin City, Las Vegas. That series is 2-2. And, of course, that series is 2-2, meaning it's a pivotal Game 5. And, of course, with Edmonton's win, they've earned one more trip to Edmonton in this series. So tomorrow's games and Friday's games are all going to be on TNT, which means due to Toronto need a Game 5, I think Rampage is going to again come on early, but I think it might be coming on early again anyway because I think Edmonton and Vegas probably would be. If I had to guess, if Edmonton and Vegas would have been the only game Friday, it probably would have been moved up to like prime time in the East Coast, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and Rampage would probably be coming on early anyway. But instead, it's gonna be on real early on Friday, probably around like what. I think the Toronto game starts at 7 Eastern, so it'll probably Rampage at like 5:30 Eastern, which is 2:30 here. It's always fun when Rampage comes on early. But Turner's gonna have tomorrow's action and Friday's action. But yeah, those Game 5s are gonna be very interesting. We're gonna see if the Devils can avoid elimination and if Toronto can avoid elimination again and force that series to head back to Florida. Wouldn't that be interesting? The reverse sweep is possible. It's been done 4 times before in the NHL. Toronto did it before, but it was eons ago. And they have a chance to do it again. 3 more wins and they'll do it. So that's my recap of tonight's action. If you like this video, click the like button. Click subscribe if you want more. I'll be back tomorrow night to recap the first 2 Game 5s, and which could come with some congratulations for the Hurricanes and a possible post-mortem, if you will, for the Devils. Good run either way. So stay tuned.